part of the business challenge is to have your support group come and support you, and how everybody has become friends throughout this thing. Well, tonight is the night we've been working towards for the last 6 weeks. Everybody, you know what order you're going to be doing your pitches. If you get stuck, look at me, Pam or I, and I can tell you you're up next. Remember, you've got 8 minutes to pitch your business idea to this nice panel of judges in the back here. There is this little device here that David's going to work. We'll start at 8 minutes. It'll start off green, and then when you have 1 minute, this will turn yellow. And that, you know how you will go to a yellow red light. It'll mean, oh yeah, yes. I would do that. And then when it turns red, that means your 8 minutes is up. And then what we're going to do is allow the judges time to ask questions. There's probably going to be a time, or there's going to be things that maybe you weren't clear within in their business pitch, and you can answer those questions. Don't forget, your business plans are due next Tuesday by 5 o'clock, and they have to be in Pam's hands because we need to get them out to the judges. Just for your information, none of the judges are here locally. There are actually several communities over and even in Tennessee. So we do that on purpose so that even Pam does not know who the judges are. Just me, try to get it out of me, good luck. But we want to make this as fair as possible. Remember, your county and your towns are investing in you through this program. We all want to see you be successful. Not everybody's going to win the $5,000 award, but we have second and third place. If you do great tonight, you can win the $500 Best Pitch Award. So be comfortable and just talk to these 3 people in the back because they're the ones that's going to be doing your scoring. And you're going just, again, I know we get nervous, but just stop for a moment before you get started and just like you're talking to me as a customer, tell me about your business. That's all you got to do. Be simple about it. That's all I have. Pam, you want to make any comments?
I would just like to reiterate something that Cindy and I have we do not know the outcome. We don't have any input as to who wins. As far as the business plans, I won't even go over those. I won't see the score sheets from tonight. Some other folks will be tallying it up. So I will know when you guys find out who wins. I won't know until then, so it'll be a surprise to me too. But I think all of you all are great. It's been great getting to know everybody, and we'll be here for you after. So if you need anything, just give us a call. And if I don't know it, I'll send you to Sandy. First up, we have Melissa Mitchell. Yeah, you can do that. You want to work this one? No, you can your computer. Don't start the timer yet, okay?
Lord, no. I got too much to say for that.
I need new glasses. Okay, there we go. You have the clicker.
I have the clicker.
You're on.
I have the clicker. I'm on. Hi, I am Melissa Mitchell, and I'm from Scrubs and Stuff. Before I start with my presentation, I would like to extend my gratitude for anybody and everybody that's helped with putting on the Tazewell County Business Challenge. I have learned a lot. I have made some really cool friends. And I can use this information in my personal life and in my business life. So I just really wanted to extend my thanks to everybody that's had anything to do with this. Okay, like I said, I am from Scrubs and Stuff. A little bit about me is I'm originally from Buchanan County. In the 80s, I don't know if y'all are old enough to remember, but there was a downcline in coal. I was married and we had to move to Florida in order to find work because there was no jobs in Buchanan County at that time. We were gone for several years, so I actually put myself through college. I graduated Tampa College down there, and we had a son, and when he got aged to go to school, I wanted to bring him back home so he could go to school at Garden. A little bit about the company, Scrubs and Stuff. In November of 2015, I was informed by a local lady that the only scrub shop, which was located in Richlands, Virginia, the only local one, was closing. So, in February 2016, I opened Scrubs and Stuff at the Claypool Hill Mall. I had about 1,000 square feet, which was way too small for anything, okay? I had no idea. I thought I was just going to sell a few scrubs, maybe some shoes, a few lab coats to a few people. Had no idea what I was getting into. So, then due to an unexpected increase, we had to be moved to the Stillsburg Plaza. Some of you all may recognize this. Leonard Automotive is on the other side. Bellacino's is on this side. We have 3,000 square feet rented here. 1,500 square feet is actual retail space. I have 2 large dressing rooms. In the back, I have rooms to do my custom work in that I do, and my office, of course, and storage. This is the inside of the store. This is one of the employees right here, Latoria. She's actually working with some customers on some embroidery designs. This is another view of the store. And this is where we keep the stethoscopes, medical accessories, pen lights, scissors, watches, and so forth. Now, I have scrubs, and we have stuff, okay? There's another side to this. We don't try to just make it on selling scrubs, okay? We have Simply Southern. We do sell the t-shirts. We sell the accessories. We do tote bags. We have tumblers. We sell CBD oils. We do doTERRA products. We also sell jewelry, and we also sell candleberry. Now, most of you know candleberry is hot maple toddy favorite candle. Okay, services that we provide at Scrubs and Stuff. We do custom embroidery. We do custom vinyl heat press and decals and signs. We do free custom fittings, and then we do delivery once we get the items in. We also attend orientations like at Southwest Virginia Community College. We go to the RN program, the LPN program, and radiology program. This is actually Tess. This is another employee at Scrubs and Stuff, and she is at the LPN orientation. It's good to do this because the students, upcoming students, actually see what their uniform is going to be like. They get to look at the accessories that's required for the program. So it really gives them a chance to kind of take a breath, you know. This is actually Treasurer Kennedy. She graduated in May from the RN program at Southwest. She was wearing scrubs that she purchased from us and that we embroidered. This is Brittany Hardy. She did her LPN pinning ceremony in December of 2018. We provide the caps and the dresses for the LPN ceremony. We do a batch discount off of the regular price uniforms and accessories to those employees that are medical employees and students. Well, we'll do special items. If we don't have something in stock, we'll order it, but we do ask for at least 50% down or go ahead and pay in full. We have a layaway policy. You have 60 days. You start out with 20% down, and then you have to make regular payments. Virginia Highlands Community College uses us for their paramedic program. We do their polos. On their polos, they have a certain color code that they go by, and we do the embroidery for the logo and for the student identification. We work with career and technology centers such as Buchanan, Tazewell, Russell, and Washington. These are high school students, and also for adult education classes and retraining. Some people call them night school. Scrubs and Stuff helps the community because we work with workforce. We do this by accepting vouchers. You may have a student that just doesn't have the money to buy their uniforms once they buy their books and everything else they need, or their accessories, or maybe their shoes. You may have an employee that's starting from, just graduated or something, and they don't have money to buy what they need to go into their new job as a radiology tech or something like that. So they go, and if they qualify, they bring us a voucher. We take those vouchers, we get what they need, and in about 30 to 120 days, we receive our pay. Customers that we serve include Clinch Valley Medical Center, the clinic, dentist offices, home health care agencies, veterinarian offices, cafeteria workers, and janitorial services. This is actually some examples of some items that we have either heat pressed or embroidered. We do this for individuals. We do this for classes, for different educational purposes. There's a business that we did the caps and the polo for. We did this for belt, but we had to obtain a release because it was a corporate company. We did big decals too, like on this rollback. We did that. We don't put them on, but we cut them. There's another one. Okay, our standards, we strive to do the best customer service around. We'll work with you. We'll work with you to fit you, to get what you need. We try to help you. It doesn't matter if you're a new student, a new upcoming student, and you come in and you need a stethoscope. A lot of them don't know how to put it in their ears yet. There's a right way and a wrong way. We show them how to do that. We know they haven't been trained yet, okay? But we help them so they can get what they need to do what they are going to study and need to do. Scrubs and Stuff provides these items for the rural community.
It's time.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
okay, sorry.
Sandy's
Well, I put that in there, which is a business card, but, sorry I went over, but,
You're right, David.
but yeah, if you all have any questions or comments or anything, I'll be glad to answer.
Remind me of your name again?
Scrubs and Stuff?
No, your
Melissa
person.
Mitchell. Mhm. See why I had to get a bigger place?
And stuff.
Yeah, the stuff helps too.
Okay, Melissa, I have a question for you. Well, I have two.
Okay,
Free delivery, is that within those 4 counties or is there a certain range?
right now, we don't have a range that we don't go to. I'm sure if you want us to go to North Carolina, it probably wouldn't work, but right now, we'll go all the way to Washington County, because we have done that. And we've actually been to Virginia Highlands too. They're asking us about going to, Mountain Empire. And that's fine.
Melissa, sounds like you've got a pretty solid existing business already. So where do you anticipate utilizing any kind of lendings that you require?
I need some new inventory. These ladies love to actually wear all these nice styles, and I have to keep up with those, you know. So I need to boost up some inventory so I don't have to order so much. So, which is good though in a way, because they have to order it and then they come back and get it. So that's 2 chances to sell. But it would be better if we didn't have to do it.
Okay, second question for free delivery. Is there a minimum?
No, I have went, like recently, I went to the Russell County Career Technology Center. There was a very small girl in the high school that was taking classes, and I actually went and ordered an even smaller outfit for her than we first thought, and brought it and switched it out with her, because, I mean, I want them to look good. You know, I'm proud of these girls and guys that are out here doing this. I want them to do well, and I may need them later on. So I'm vested in it too, healthcare.
So the one business was Joy's, I assume?
Julie's Fashions, and she has Scrubs. And Tess, that was actually in that picture, she actually worked for her. So she gave me a lot of knowledge about what to order, when to order. But she tells me now that they were never this busy because Joy didn't go out and get the work that I go out and get. And she
You
didn't
put
do the
legs in
embroidery. I'm sorry.
You put legs on it.
I do. I got some strong things. Any more questions? I could do this all night. It's about my food. I feel so much better now.
Yes, it is. So what's your long-term, your vision over the next 3 to 5 years? What do you really want to do as far as serving our community in the next 3 to 5 years?
I really want to branch out. I really want to get up to Blakefield, okay? I'm really lacking that way. I need to go that way. I need to get the grant to do the different vocational schools and let night classes and stuff know that I'm there. Because I'm stuck in that little building and they have no idea. I also have a website where you can order off of it. So I've only had it for like 120 days and I have no time to do anything with it. I need to be making money when I'm asleep. Sorry, I'm stalling. Yeah, I need to really market that and work on that website so people know it's there. Not here, because I think this community enjoys more about the personal service that you get. But away from here, let them order off of me anyway, They'll ship right to the door. Come on,
We're at our 4-minute mark, so we can't ask.
Dang it. Well, I really appreciate it.
I will ask one,
Okay.
besides your website,
Mhm.
eBay, business,
No.
those kinds of things? you
I
have
partner
software?
with my uniform vendors. I don't have to have any pictures, they update everything. Anything that a customer buys is drop shipped to them. I don't have to touch it. I pay a really small drop ship fee. It works great. Just being one of it.
Great.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate it.
Wait a minute. Next coach. Oh, he's not going backwards. It get worse.
We're gonna let judges have a few minutes before we do that. But Colin, if you want to get started, set up
I got the judges right here. This is for you guys.
Okay, I think we're ready for, their second one. I started saying third one, it's not the second one, but this is Colin Powell.
Colin O'Donnell.
I'm gonna use a sergeant on the
Who's this guy Powell that won the competition?
Wow.
Where is he?
I don't know where that came from. You know, I gotta liven it up a little bit. Colin was nervous, so thanks, Colin.
Yeah.
Colin O'Donnell, I do know his name. I don't know where that came from.
Thank you guys for having me today. My name is Colin O'Donnell, and we are a startup called The Grind. Our concept is a coffee and bake shop which mainly sells coffee products and bagels alike. First of all, who am I? As I said, my name is Colin O'Donnell. I'm 26 years old. I moved from Buffalo, New York to Southwest Virginia for a chance to play college football. I'm a U.S. military veteran, and I'm a veteran of the war in Afghanistan. Following service in Afghanistan, I spent 2 years at Walter Reed Medical Military Center, recovering from my injuries over there, where I also received the Presidential Call to Service Award, or the Lifetime Achievement Award, at the White House on August 23rd, 2014. I played Bluefield College football, and I'm honored to also be the captain of that football team. So what's the big idea? Our mission is to serve quality beverages and baked goods to the community in a warm, welcoming, and comfortable environment. This is what we're aiming to do with everything we have in us with this shop. So why Bluefield, Virginia, and why the location? Well, I fell in love with Appalachia because I just loved the fact that it was clean air, not New York. That was the first reason. But I realized there was plenty of business opportunities here, partially because of the 10 schools within a 7-mile radius of the proposed shop at 103 Spring Street in downtown Bluefield, Virginia. Secondly, it boasts 55,678 residents between Bluefield, Virginia, West Virginia, and Tazewell County combined. We will be the largest coffee shop in Bluefield, Virginia, and the only one that serves bagels. There's also diverse professions in the area, which lead us to believe we will have a successful coffee shop. It is a recipe for success. From coal miners, factory workers, hundreds of retail workers, obviously a ton of teaching and professor careers, and more. So we believe there is absolutely a market statistically. All of those professions start their day with a cup of coffee. So the market in the area. Recently, the Chamber of Commerce in Bluefield, Virginia conducted a study among Bluefield College students where an astounding 67% that were surveyed said they wanted to see a coffee and bake shop downtown. Even more interesting, the demographics didn't change much when ruled with the entire general population. The same survey was given with a combined 71% wanting a coffee and bake shop downtown. So there is definitely a market for what we're trying to do. But what are we doing different from everyone else? Well, first off, as I said, we're serving bagels. The market right now in Bluefield is full of corporate entities, and the problem with that is they lack customer service, they're not comfortable, they're not warm, they're not invited. And we're looking to be all those things. We're looking to be everything that these guys are not. And who are they? We have McDonald's within a 2-mile radius, Hardee's within 3/4 of a mile, and Valley Food Services at the college. Most interestingly, the college does serve coffee in-house, but people do not use it. The quality of it is so bad, and it's really not fresh, to be honest. So they don't trust it, they don't use it much, and although they are a competitor in semester, they do not operate when students leave. And so we would be still the only comfortable environment for coffee in the area. This is the proposed building at 103 Spring Street. Right now, we want to get this out of here. It's time to be out with the old. It looks depressing, it's not inviting. It's good for maybe leaning up against it when you're walking by it, and it wrecked itself before it checked itself. This is not the building that people want to walk by downtown. By the way, this is a focal point of downtown. This is directly in the middle, across the street from the last fountain, which recently closed. This is right in the middle. This is what people see when they drive by. What we're proposing is something radical. In with the bowl. What is the bowl? It reinvents the word welcoming. It feels warm just to look at it. It adds a totally new dynamic for the community, fits in with Appalachia, and brings people back. Without further ado, I am so excited to show you guys what our concept and rendering of this building will look like. We spent so much time trying to bring this dream alive, so without further hesitation, the grind will be a warm, welcoming, comfortable environment, as I said. The wood accents will mimic a hunting lodge or cabin in Appalachia to make people feel like they're coming back. This is the stuff that McDonald's is not doing. I believe that there is truly a market for a comfortable place with multiple amenities to bring people in that most of the restaurants in the Bluefield region, even Southwest Virginia, are not actually capitalizing on. This will be the inside. What we look to do here is utilize, as you can see along the top, the railroad tracks and the coal lights coming from it. So we want to keep the history, the diverse history of Bluefield and the coal mining history and incorporate it into our business. The floor plan. We want to bring people back with our floor plan. We don't want to just amaze you when you walk in. We want you to come back. So one of the things we're proposing is a lending library, where you can take out a book at our library, comfortably read, and you're going to bring it back, take out another one, or take one and bring one type idea. Also, multiple TVs, which will host different gaming centers for the college-age students, where we will also host community events such as college nights, bake-offs, book clubs, and much more. It'll also host an outdoor patio, as you can see here. It'll be about between 450 and 500 square feet. So, key timeline goals. We finished our business and marketing plan. We have a comprehensive marketing plan that uses a social media technique that a lot of businesses are not using, which is simply humor. We look to incorporate humor into everything we do to give people a positive feeling when they think about our name and our brand. The build-out is looking to occur between January and April. The reason for this is because the city will be redoing the exterior of the building with a $200,000 grant. They are the current owners of that building. We look to be open by the end of May. And of course, we look to achieve 100 customers a day when we open up. And of course, that's a aggressive goal, but it's something that we're really shooting for. Required funding. Right now, I'm invested with 36% of the equity in the company at $25,000. We're looking for that same match amount from a debt investor or a banking investor. I don't know why it came out of format there. That's unfortunate, but it's all right. I'll explain it. Other investors, we have 2 investors donating $10,000 towards this project, and we're also looking to do crowdsourcing from an Indiegogo account, which will be up following this presentation. We look to raise $10,000 in funds from that crowdsourcing program in order to funds from the city, which we will incorporate from our lease. So it'll be almost like a loan, but not a loan. So we will pay the city back for the build out on the inside from our lease, which leaves us in a better predicament because we have to take out less of a loan from the bank or a debt investor, etc. In closing, this is our goal. This is our dream. We want to have a shop that when you walk by it, you can feel it. When you walk by it, you just got to stop in. You got to take a look at it. It's turning heads when you're driving. Hopefully no car accidents, but if it happens, at least it's, hey, we turned heads. So listen, we want this to be the spot for people to go. We want college kids to go there. We want the retired folks to come and sit for 10 hours if they want. And we want it to be a community-centered event. Thank you guys so much.
What was your end for the 71%?
I'm sorry?
Your end for the 71%, what was the survey number?
227.
So, Colin, how did you get some of the estimates for your working capital, some of your numbers? Where did you get this?
Absolutely. So recently, within the last year, Reuters did a comprehensive study of over 100 coffee shops around the U.S. that are currently in business. The low was 12 receipts a day at an average of $2.87 per receipt, the high being 166 tickets at over $11.11 per ticket. We took that average of 100 coffee shops and we went off of those numbers from diverse locations, including cities and small towns.
I saw something about an aggressive estimate and a conservative or liberal. What was that?
Sure. So essentially, the conservative estimate was the lower side of the cost for equipment, and we sure do need a lot, and that would be where our funding would be going. So the conservative estimate is the lower side of things. We plan on using, of course, an array of used equipment that is still quality, but allows us to get a discount on it. Whereas if we can't get that liberal estimate would be the higher side of the cost of equipment for the interior of the
So it looks like, total, 35,000 what you're looking for set up for equipment.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
It's across the street from, what's back
Straight to the left, we're all the way down there, where that green awning is, that would be the last fountain in Graham Pharmacy. Behind it is Dairy Queen. Yes.
Okay. There's a coffee shop in Bluefield, the corner.
Yes, it did close down, yes ma'am, yeah.
A year ago.
Do you know why it closed?
Yes, we actually took a look at their shop and we talked to students about it as well who had gone there. One of the main things we noticed was generic food. It wasn't fresh. And the second thing we noticed was the environment in and of itself. It wasn't a convenient location. We felt like it was actually on a very busy street, whereas we have designated parking for over 20 vehicles available right then and there. And the second thing was, or the third thing was, the quality of the coffee itself wasn't diverse enough. The products weren't diverse enough, so there weren't more options available. It's very generic.
Plus, then the owner of that place, I think he owned another machine shop, so that wasn't even his core focus, was it?
Right, it ended up actually being just kind of like a side gig for it. So this is our main, for us, this is a dream.
So who, outside of your investors, who is us? Is that just the three you're talking, it's just the three of you?
That's correct,
Okay.
yes ma'am.
And so when you open up, how many employees do you see yourself needing?
We'll need 3 off the bat, not including myself. And so we estimate that we can work with the investors the first 2 months, and the third month is where we really want to start hiring the people necessary. Of course, this model goes off of no working capital for the first 2 months, just extreme for everything. For a few things. And you'll also see we factored in negative 6% growth in the months going in 2 years down the line. So we did some extreme things, but we do want to have 3 employees. I think that will be the
So have you ever worked in a coffee shop? What's your plan to really kind of ramp up your knowledge of this industry?
Absolutely. So what we're doing right now is, personally, I've been partnering with the Bluefield College Business Department. What I'm looking to do is form an internship. I've applied at multiple places, and I've talked with actually Valley Food at the college, but for the food side of things, just for the management, get the numbers down, see how everything works, and I'm reaching out to multiple different businesses to try and get that done. So I want to get an internship and really do it.
One real quick, I want to ask everybody, what is your vision over the next 3 to 5 years? If this came to fruition, what do you anticipate success looking like?
We have a big dream when it comes to this shop. We think that there's not only a market here in Southwest Virginia and Bluefield specifically, but all of Tazewell and expanding beyond that, Roanoke, Richmond. We think that there is a real market for the comfortable warm environment we're going to be offering and the product and service that we're going to be able to offer, which is outstanding customer service and it's outstanding product placement as well.
Going to larger cities, you don't think you'll compete with franchised coffee shops?
It's certainly something we've considered, but where I think we differ from them is, one, again, customer service, and 2, it's not, a lot of people don't like the corporate feel that Starbucks offers, and McDonald's, for example. They just did that renovation in Bluefield, spent boatloads of money, and it doesn't make anyone want to stay there any longer. And it doesn't fit in with the area. So,
Cheers. Cheers.
That's fine.
oh, geez. I'm flattered, I guess.
Sorry about that. Next up is Bill. I'm not even.
Couldn't pronounce it right, you can't spell it right.
Bill Powell, is that you?
Haber, H-A-B-E-R.
We've had an HAUR, so.
Just get it right on the check, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Yes. And she said she was.
really good help when you're old.
You ready? Is it me? Well, I'm Bill Haber. As I said, this is my daughter Jessica, and she's a part of this. Our company is called Appalachian Treasures LLC. We're going to be located in Bluefield, Virginia. The background for this is it started last spring. Jessica was interested in a summer job, and she applied at all the fast food, retail, things like that. She didn't have any luck with getting a job. People don't want to hire people without experience, but being the wise old dad that I am, I told her of all the joys of working for yourself, of setting your own hours, setting your own wages, and the freedom and everything that, you know, being your own boss lets you have. So we started talking about this and selling things. I do woodworking, so she actually spent the summer selling my woodworking, selling some other crafts and things that we got and stuff that we got from people's estates and going to auctions and everything. What we found out is that we would, instead of going around to different flea markets and online sales and everything, we wanted to be set up in a building. So we started looking for a place, a booth, the type thing that we could rent, and we couldn't find one that we were happy with. So we thought, okay, what we need is a place to rent out to people, to booths. So our dream of Appalachian Treasures was kind of born. We're going to be the retail venue for people to display antiques, handmade furniture, unique crafts. We want to be a marketplace for multiple vendors of traditional and durable quality items, of tools and household goods as well. It's going to be much needed retail space, and we're going to be the support staff. We're going to be the sales staff for the different artisans or vendors that will be renting space from us. If we're selling them, then those people can be at home making more stuff to stock the shelves, and we're going to be helping them get their revenue up. We're going to do accurate accounting. We're going to have barcode systems. We're going to have a point of sale system in the store, so everything's, you know, all on the up and up. We're going to do marketing and advertising that's going to attract a wide customer base that's going to walk in and going to buy their products. And we're going to have a safe and secure store. What makes us unique? Customer service is going to be second to none. One of the things we did is we were doing our market research. We were going around to different other antique malls and things like that. And I just happened to notice a couple that was in there, and I felt like they were restocking or reorganizing. I felt like they were renting. So I just struck up a conversation with them. They told me, they said, you know, we're here, and they rent several booths from this one store. And they said, we're here, business is good and everything. He said, but it's gotten to the point that the customer service is terrible. He says they've got a lot of, you know, retired ladies that work the checkout counter. He said when somebody comes in and buys a big piece of furniture, you know, they say, can you help me load that? And I go, oh, I ain't gonna help you load that. You know, so he said it was driving customers off. Well, after more conversations, come to find out he lives in Bluefield, Virginia, very close to where our store will be. So he's going to be probably one of our first renters. And so after that conversation, we decided that our customer service was going to be the best. You know, we're going to treat you nice. We're going to help you anyway and do whatever we can. We're going to have a large variety. We're going to have different vendors. We're going to have we don't want all antiques. We want some crafts. We want equipment. We want different things. Expert craftsmanship, that's what we're going to be looking at. We're going to have a juried selection of what we're going to allow in the store. It's not going to be the low-end flea market type stuff. We did a lot of that this past summer, and that's not where we want to be. The clean and friendly store, I mentioned the market research. Every time we'd walk into some old store somewhere in some downtown, Jessica would let me know, oh, this one's dusty and musty, you know, this one stinks. So I put her in charge of keeping the store clean and making sure that we're presentable. The other thing we did when we walked in a store, we would kind of make a note of how long it took for somebody to speak to us when we walked in the store. And that's, you know, as soon as you come in the door, we're gonna greet you, you know, and let you know that somebody's there to help you. What sort of treasures are Appalachian? You know, this is a short list. Antiques, quilts, pottery, woodworking, You name, jewelry, handmade jewelry is very good. Furniture, we're going to do new furniture, but we're also going to do the painted furniture and things that have been restored. This is kind of a typical booth. This is the gentleman I told you about. This is his booth as it's set up now. It's got furniture, some antiques, some home decor. This is another friend of mine, does handcrafted furniture, really quality woodwork, solid wood furniture from the area here, local area. Crocheted items, quilting. These are some wreaths, but we're going to do all kinds of home decor, primitives. This is just a variety with some of the quilting, wall hangings and things, jewelry, the cork art. This is actually some of the woodworking and turning that I do. Our marketing plan, we're on a kind of a shoestring budget, so our biggest marketing expense is going to be the signage and stuff at the store. That's where we're going to try to attract customers. Our location is on Route 19 as you're coming out of West Graham. It's a 2,700 vehicle count per day. So we want to make sure that they see us and they know we're there and in business, and we want to try to draw some of those people in. Our next thing we're going to spend a lot of money on when we can is billboards, either on 77 or 460. And we're going to let people know we're there and attract tourists and things like that. We're going to do Facebook, eBay. We've done a little bit of the online stuff this summer, and it works. It's good. It's kind of another service we're going to offer to our vendors that are in there, who are really our customers. We're going to do online sales for them, do the shipping, packaging everything up, and getting it to the right customer. Our vendors will also, most of them are going to be their own business, so they're going to be doing their own advertising, their own Facebook pages, things like that, so they're going to send people our way. Word of mouth, we're going to join the Chamber of Commerce. Rack cards is another thing, seems to work very well for this type of industry. This is our building. We're 2,000 square foot. Melissa, I can understand what you're saying. It's not big enough, but it's what we've got right now. We have a contract on this to buy it. The light green area is our phase 1. We think we can get to 1,065 per month of renting booths pretty quick with just a broom, clean the store out, and go right to business with it. The other side, the left side, is going to take a little bit more work, and it's going to take longer to ramp it up. A few things about it are... Oh, okay. Okay.
It's not time yet.
No, it's ready.
It's ready. Okay. So questions or...
Go back to 2 slides to show your monthly revenue. I think that's important. Why don't you share with us? I think that's real important.
Okay. This is monthly revenue. It's the first quarter, we're looking at around $850 per month for renting the booths. I've also included some sales figures in there because we are there, as we rent, we're going to have some common areas, and we're going to put stuff for sale in there. I'm not opposed to putting something on the bathroom wall that's got a price tag on it. We're going to utilize every inch of our 2,000 square foot to get stuff sold. And then we're gradually ramping it up. By the end of the year, we expect to be at 100% rental in both sides of that store. That's going to give us a rental income of about $2,000, and I've put our sales conservatively at about $400 for our part. Now, this is our revenue. We hope to have about 20 vendors, and they'll probably have a revenue of anywhere between $8,000 to $12,000 for them as well. So that's the big impact that we hope to make to the community.
Do you already have committed clients?
We do.
Roughly how many?
5 at this time.
How many booths can you do, Bill, in your space?
Depending on the size, we've got it laid out. We have, there's 3 individual rooms now that we can sell as a whole. I do hope to rent those to one person, as each room. There's a kind of a large entryway area that I'm going to separate into booths there. And then there's a back room that we could do as many has 5 different booths in there, but I intend to try to market it to one vendor as well, you know, to do the whole room. It's a 12 by 24 room, so.
So just a ballpark, for the whole space, how many booths on average, if you just to take an average?
By the end of the year, we want to be at 20 vendors.
20, so you have 20 booths?
Yes. Different size booths, you know, anything from, like I said, that one room could be as big as 12 by 24, but we're also going to have shelving units and things on the wall. We would rent you a space for a 1 foot by 4 foot shelf, you know, to, if you had small items, jewelry, candles, things like that.
So I happened to be in, I may pronounce this wrong, Woodville this past summer, and they have a place like this. Is there anyone closer than that?
There are those at Withfield. There's 3 there, and we feel like they're far enough away that they're not direct competition. There's an antique mall outside of Princeton, Four Seasons Antique. That's all they do is antiques, and most of what they do at Withfield is all antiques. Part of what makes us unique is we want to focus on the quality of the local crafters and local vendors. We want to get artists, musicians, that kind of thing in there. We want to have unique products that nobody else has. We want to have homemade quilts and crochet things. We want to have homemade woodworking stuff that other people don't offer. But as far as Bluefield, there's a couple of places that are flea market type places, and they have limited hours. And then Tazewell has some used furniture and things like that, and consignment shops. They don't really have an antique place like what we want. So.
What's your operating expenses per month, Bill? Total, think about electric and utilities and everything?
We've got everything budgeted. Our biggest expense, of course, electric is going to be, the biggest expense is the point of sale system and the barcode system. Those are generally going to run about $100 a month just to have one of those, and that's the biggest expense other than our labor. Without labor, we're looking at about $300 a month expenses.
And are you leasing the building or are you buying it out? Sorry,
I am personally buying the building,
Okay.
and we will eventually get to leasing it to Appalachian Treasures. For the first year, we did not figure rent into the equation. It's kind of a rent abatement thing in exchange for the renovations to the building.
And so what do you plan to do with about, if you were to rent to do with about 1,000?
Spend it on the, we have, the one side of the building needs to be repainted, and it's actually divided up into rooms right now. My intention is to gut that whole side and then make booths in there. And our original projections was I was going to take my time doing that, maybe as much as 6 or 8 months, but the cash flow, we need to get it up and running. I anticipate getting it running by second quarter, at least at 80% occupancy.
Any other questions?
Jewel, get up. Get up, girl. Yeah, it's all right. You guys ready? Okay. I'll let you announce who you are.
All right. Since I know. Good evening. My name is Susan Jewell, and I will be opening a functional medicine coaching service, health and wellness coaching service. It's a startup business. I hope to locate between Claypool Hill and Tazewell when I do open. First, I will tell you a little bit about what functional medicine is in a nutshell. Functional medicine is a different approach to medical care where instead of putting a Band-Aid on a symptom, you treat the entire system and find the cause of the illness and treat that illness and that whole system. A functional medicine wellness coach is the bridge between your physician and how you're going to accomplish your wellness. As a coach, you can work for a medical practitioner, you can be a wellness and health coach for a company or organization, or you can hang your own shingle and pull in your own clients as individuals or as referrals from medical professionals. That will be my option since we don't have a functional medicine practitioner and health and wellness coaching is very new. It's a very new career. It's a very explosive career. It's new and exciting, and most people haven't even heard of it. Particularly in our area, it's not very popular. A functional medicine health and wellness coach doesn't diagnose or treat or prescribe anything. They simply guide, coach, and lead their client with food protocols, the how-to part of movement and exercise to help that person improve their life and make changes in their lifestyle. Our population is increasingly getting more unhealthy. 86% of Medicare dollars last year were spent on chronic illnesses. 6 in 10 adults have a chronic illness, 4 in 10 have 2, and the American Medical Association just deemed diabetes as the most treatable and curable chronic disease that exists. If you've ever gone to a doctor and had some lab work done, the doctor comes in and says, okay, here's your labs. You're 20 pounds overweight, your face is red because your blood pressure's too high, you're stiff and sore and can't move. So I want you to lose 20 pounds, eat better, exercise, come back in 3 months, and we'll do these labs again and see how you've improved. Have a great day, see you in 3 months. They've told you what they want you to do, but they didn't tell you how to accomplish it, and what you need to do to get for what their goal is that they want you to be. That's where your health and wellness coach comes in. You work with that coach to develop a food protocol, learn what movement you can add to your lifestyle, reduce your stress, which will add weight to your body too. And then you go back and work with that coach and get encouragement from that coach so that you can reach your health goal. I checked out the competition for functional medicine health and wellness coaches, found the nearest competition to the southwest is 98 miles away in Johnson City, and to the east of my location is 102 miles away in Roanoke. There are other types of coaches that aren't health and wellness coaches. There's yoga coaches, there's weight loss coaches, there's specific coaches, but as far as health and wellness coaches, that's the nearest competition that I can locate. Since I will have no inventory or products to sell, my marketing will be geared toward my service, and that's also where my money will be spent since there's no overhead for me to have to pay for. I will use social media, and I would like to do a short video each week on the Facebook page. I would like to join with the Chamber of Commerce in doing some business after hours to educate the public on what this service is. Presentations to civic organizations, and of course local press coverage for grand openings and special events. There is the front page for my Facebook page, which I cannot publish yet because I'm not in business, but that is the front page, and that is what's called the Wellness Wheel. That'll be the profile picture. Because health and wellness coaching is a new career, there aren't a whole lot of accurate statistics. Some of it's just guesswork. So the market is increasing. It's growing very quickly. It's a very fast-growing career. The average charge, cost per session is $50 to $100. I don't expect to be able to charge $100 per session in our area, so I'll have to modify that so it's more accessible to people in our area and not priced out of their range. Insurance does cover sometimes health and wellness coaching. Since it's becoming more popular, it will be covered better and better by our health insurances, I believe. Right now, I am training to become a health and wellness coach through the Functional Medicine Wellness Coaches Academy. My target date for opening is immediately after I finish the program in August of 2020, and then I will sit for the National Board for Health and Wellness Coaches. In addition to money that I will need for advertising and marketing, office furnishings will be my next expense, I would think. I want a calm spa-like atmosphere, and so there's an example of what a waiting area might look like, and an example of what my office while I'm coaching my client would look like, an example of a possible business card.
Malpractice
I'm sure I will need insurance since I'm not practicing medicine or diagnosing or prescribing or treating any conditions or illnesses. I believe it will be different from the type that a medical doctor would need, but there will be insurances required, I'm sure.
Have you thought about partnering with another business to drive in customers outside of just Facebook? For example, have you thought of maybe partnering with a chiropractor
Yes.
or a masseuse or something like that?
Yes, I have. Yes, and have spoken briefly with one of those as a possibility.
Susan, I love innovative, crazy new ideas, and I like this. This is really neat, because I do a lot of, I like to do leadership coaching stuff, and I think there's a market. But here's my question, two things. What makes this so, I mean, it's really unique, but also a lot of doctors are being trained to increase their services and more patient hands-on care. What's going to be your differentiator for you go to someone like me and say, I want to help you with your wellness needs. You're a little overweight, David. You need to work on this. What's going to make, what's going to sell me this versus my doctor that I'm already paying a lot of money and a premium to?
Well, that's what drives our premiums up is poor health. So if your doctor wants you to accomplish this, and obviously you want to because you may not live if you don't. If the 20 pounds is the difference between being insulin resistant or borderline diabetic and not being that, you're saving money on extra medical bills. And your employer is happy because you're missing less time from work to go to doctor's appointments. You're going to feel better. If you drop 20 pounds, your blood pressure is lower, you're moving around, you're not sore all the time, your joints don't ache, and you can do all of this simply by starting to stretch a little bit every day for 5 minutes and changing foods that you eat to a better food protocol, then that should prompt you to want to do that.
Is your industry reimbursing this kind of coaching? Is the insurance, medical insurance industry reimbursing for this kind of service?
It's starting to more and more. A lot of larger companies have their own health and wellness coach on staff. The insurance will. Anthem has their own health and wellness coaches inside Anthem. That's what they do at Anthem. So as it gets more popular, it will be covered more, I'm sure, but some insurances do cover it now.
I know you said you wanted to be located between Cedar Bluff and Tazewell. That's right. Why that area?
That seems to be the general area of the county that is a little more in tune to health and fitness. We have the YMCA, we have chiropractors, we have The gyms at Maple Hill. Those people are more health conscious, and I feel like I can involve those people more if
Is
they're
there
more
a
health
certain
conscious.
age range you're looking for?
It would be over 18, simply because children, you get into pediatric issues that, that the health and wellness coach really shouldn't be involved in. That could be, toward pediatric end.
I was only asking because I can be wrong in my stats, but I thought Bluefield College was like 90% athletes, and bigger businesses are moving to that area, so then maybe it would help the clientele.
That's something to consider, yeah. I was also looking at other counties being closer to Maple Hill, Cedar Bluff area. I have Buchanan County from that side, I have Russell County from that side, and I still have, the West Virginia side, Mercer County, and still have access to Bluefield, Virginia as well.
What's your goal in this consulting service over the next 3 or 4 years? What do you see? What would you like to see happening for your business in 3 or 4 years?
I would love to be full of clients. I'd like to see the general public get healthier, and I'd also like to open a second office. After I have good clientele.
But you're in training right now?
Yes. Yes.
You're getting certified in this. So
Yes.
what's the first thing you're going to do once you get the certification? I mean, people are going to be like, you just got this certification.
Like, what's your background?
Yeah, and what's your background to support the business?
You mean during my training?
Or I'm talking about, like, what did you do prior to this that can also help support your knowledge of this thing just without the certification?
Well, I couldn't do it without the certification. I can pretend to be some other kind of coach, but I couldn't sell myself as a health and wellness coach. My background prior to this has nothing to do with the medical field whatsoever, and you really don't have to be based on what I learned from the training. It's coaching skills, all the nutrition and food and movement background and all that is taught in the training.
Any other questions? I don't have any.
Good, thank you.
Ready? Think that's a laser point?
Yes, it does.
It does. Yeah.
That's not bad.
I told you I was praying before I came in. It looks like it didn't work. Perfect.
Is that good?
We're rolling. Yep.
Okay.
Tell me when. Okay, good afternoon, evening. My name is Blake Ray. I am here to talk about Cold Town Taps. Before we get into the presentation, I feel like it's necessary that I share a story of where this came from. So I do a lot of traveling throughout the state of Virginia for work. I'm a wealth manager with Wells Fargo. And my grandmother passed away in March. So I came to Richlands and I spent a week in town. Okay. What was happening in March was March Madness. It was a Monday night. UVA was playing Oregon. There was no place to grab a beverage and watch some basketball and eat some chicken wings. And so thus, I started thinking, what do I do to help impact that? Because if I am having the same issue, somebody else in the county is thinking about that as well. Right? Go Hoos. So, Cold Town Taps was born. Today, there's a few objectives that I want to help answer questions for you guys before we get into the presentation. What is our vision? What is our mission? What is the thought processes behind our business model, what is the potential economic impact to the town, and then also why should you guys give me money because I'm asking for it, right? So our mission, Coal Town Taps, is based on the idea that life in the coal fields of Southwest Virginia is unique and cannot be replicated anywhere else in the country. Our mission is to celebrate our home by pairing our special heritage with quality beverages and dishes that truly highlight the beauty of our local community. Okay? So, our business model is based on a fad that's happening around the country, and that fad is known as tap and truck, right? So you see a lot of festivals that are happening, you see a lot of different places in the country that are taking craft beer, pairing it with a food truck situation, and it's bringing out tons of people. So that's what we're modeling on. We acquired a building, I'm getting a little ahead of myself, sorry. We will feature an affixed food truck, and then we will also act as a collaborative house for the community. And I'll show you a little bit more what I mean by that when we get further into the presentation. So, I think it's really important that I talk about the location, where we're going to be. So, 108 Fairfax Avenue is the current project that we're working on. The building is now completely in renovation mode. In fact, this morning I got up at 6:30 and I was in actual work clothes and hoisting LVL beams to support the ceiling. So it was built in 1900. The house was owned by Evans and Elizabeth Dick. They were the president and CEO of the Clinch Valley Coal Corporation. The house served as a residence and place of business, including the Agatha Inn and restaurant, and then the National Sportsman Shop. I particularly chose this location because I wanted a downtown building to increase pedestrian traffic in downtown Richlands. The building is 0.25 miles from what is known as the Front Street, Suffolk Avenue area, so it's in walking distance. There's nice sidewalks and bridges, and you can see that here. Oh, what did I do? Sorry. Hours of operation. This, first of all, as a craft beer tap house, we are not a bar that is going to stay open until 2 a.m. That is not the concept that we're going for. That's not what we're working on. Hours of operation, we're going to do lunch for the lunch crowd. We'll be closed by 10 during the week. On the weekends for special events, we'll be open on until midnight on Friday and Saturday, and then we will be 12 to 9 to serve the after church crowd. So, who are our suppliers? We will be getting beer and wine and hard cider that's locally produced in Virginia only. That's what we're specifically highlighting. We'll be using Virginia Eagle Distributing, Blue Ridge Beverage, and then we are going for a fresh only model on the food. So we will be using Cisco for that. The only thing that will be frozen will be the waffle fries that will be in the bacon cheese fries. Okay. Products and services. We'll talk about the locally produced craft beer, hard cider, and wine. Full service food truck menu. We're going to be doing gourmet burgers, appetizers, smoked wings. It's a very simple menu. It plays into the margins. It keeps our food margin and cost of goods sold at 32%. And then we will do merchandise, so branded shirts, glassware, headwear, growlers. There's two different loyalty programs we'll be highlighting here. We've got the Mug Club, which is, if you've ever been to a craft beer tap house or brewery, you basically pay a subscription. Instead of paying $6 for a pint of beer, you pay $4 for a 32-ounce mug, and that subscription is a 12-month subscription. So it's a way to increase capital and raise some money for cash flow. The second loyalty program we are doing is based off of a notch program. We're calling it the Miners Challenge. Basically, there's thousands of craft beers in the United States, right? There's hundreds in Virginia. So the goal here is to bring those home. With the minor challenge, we'll start with a red hat. They'll try selected beers, move up to a white hat, and then eventually a black hat. And then we will have a conference space known as the Agatha in conference space. Our structure, I've got a couple of different people helping me. My wonderful mother, Bobby, will be the CEO or COO and operator, and she will be running day-to-day operations. Chris is the comptroller for Devil's Backbone. He is going to be taking on our project part-time to help us run through the tap business. The target market that we're working to hit is the central area around Richlands, Virginia. So we're going to pull from the western part of Russell County, eastern part of Tazewell County, and then northern part of Buchanan County. Now, what do the numbers tell us? Weekly break-even point, we need to make and drive $9,154 a week. The majority of our expense is coming from labor, and then this is important because this is how we, sorry, time. Can I finish that thought? So the next thought that I had was 75% of our team members will make more than 75% of the average in the industry in Tazewell County for our servers and our cooks, and that will help us attract the people that we need to run a really good business. Minutes goes a lot faster than you would think. Wow. And that was actually the end. So.
The $9,000 that you plan to make weekly.
Yes.
That is just with the solid location or with the food truck?
So, total all-in cost of the project is $155,300. Okay, that includes acquisition of the food truck, renovations of the tap room, equipment, as well as startup marketing costs. Okay, the $9,100 is our revenue number for each week, and that is so we will be profitable by the end of the year. So we're proposing that most restaurants lose money for the first 2 years. Chris and I have worked really hard on making sure that we controlled costs on this project so that we're profitable the first year. We based that number on a couple of different things. One, we looked at tap houses across the country, retail tap houses, not breweries, because the cost of goods is different. But we looked at that number. On average, they would do between $600,000 and $800,000 a year in total revenue. And then I took it one step further because in the town of Richlands, we've had several restaurants, eateries closed, not because there weren't clients that needed to be served, but just for other reasons. So that leaves a Mexican restaurant doing right at $1.2 million a year. That tells me that there's definitely a market for us to really shave off some of that revenue. Okay? Or you can get pizza. It's another option in Richlands. So, yes?
Blake, I love it. I think I really like the subscription thing. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
One of the things I just quickly calculated a rough estimate, you're gonna have to, if you do $1,042 a day to meet that $9,000, you said $9,000 a week or $9,000 a month?
$9,000 a week.
So
It's high.
because that means that okay, if you take the typical average, and I worked in the food industry for a little bit a long time ago, and I was in college, you're looking at about $15 average per customer bill. So that means you're gonna have to have 15, let's say 15.
Yeah, we're actually shooting for an average ticket cost between 18 and 22.
Okay, just a little bit more. So
Yeah.
15, you're looking at 72 customers a day, and that's a 7-day opening week. So you feel like that's realistic?
Yes, and here's why. There's
In Richlands.
Yes.
That's.
It's not like it- it's like-
No, so-
Woodville, the same thing, you know.
So obviously, we can talk about it coming from a daily standpoint. We know how the business works from a cyclical standpoint. It's not going to happen daily. So we'll take advantage of our Friday nights. Obviously, we'll take advantage of Saturdays. And really, the reason I said it was a collaborative house, and I was going to talk a little bit about that later, the majority of the people that are going to be coming in here are going to be coming in for events. Okay? So, for example, on Sundays from 6 to 9, it's going to be a jam night pick session where anybody can bring their guitar, anybody can bring their banjo, anybody can bring their music and pick bluegrass, right? And have a hometown feel. We're definitely going to be highlighting sporting events. I don't know if my mom told you this, but before I even started, I bought 10 TVs for this whole thing, and they are currently sitting in her guest bedroom, taking up space. So we're really going to make sure that we're highlighting sporting events, basketball games, football games, baseball. Hockey's not really popular in Richlands, but we can make it that way. But we're really going to start catering those events, wine nights, paint nights, that sort of thing.
So what experience do you have in the food industry or the department? I didn't see that your department had a background in accounting, so.
Yeah, so my background, I'm in wealth management. I work with a vast array of clients, and I'm going to be able to pull my experience from executing in management for 10 years. My partner, Chris, is who I'm really going to be leveraging. He is the comptroller for Devil's Backbone, and he actually runs their taproom accounting books. So he's the know-it-all on the number side of things. I can talk.
A good short order cook. And
Yeah, exactly. I can talk 30,000 foot view. He can talk down the weeds. So. Any other questions?
I worry that your number is really high. I am from Houston,
Mm-hmm.
and I came in here with that same thing, like I'm going to.
Yeah.
It's steep.
Yeah, and so here's the thing. I have always I built my career on establishing a stretch goal. There is a cushion built into that $9,100 number.
Okay.
And we are going to push for that to be the benchmark, right? That brings us to about a 2.2% profit for the year. And I'm pretty confident that we're going to do that. Anything else? Thank you guys.
He's not running away. I don't think he is.
Yes. But my bad. This is gonna be No, it's fine. Taking 45 minutes to get home from a 9-mile drive is fine. It just means that if you open a business, people there, where you can do and we did over $1,000 and we only lost.
you're already my favorite.
So
let us know when you're ready. I gotta see what they got.
And some chicken. Next time you'll be a judge.
They won't say
Homemade dressing. Am I getting? Oh, okay. So we just wanted to know. Okay.
I'd be next. Okay.
Take your time over those things. We're just
I'm hurrying.
hanging out with dessert over here. Just take your time.
Do you have me something to drink?
Blake's working on it. He's got the tap room going on.
That's been sitting next to me the whole year, didn't feed me one time, then you guys show up.
I got to do it when it counts, you know.
But my students are taking notes. Food. Hey.
I'm sorry.
All right. That is good.
Yeah.
Sheldon.
I haven't eaten this.
Oh. This was fun, yeah.
It ain't coming.
Three, two,
Good evening, everybody. I am Clint Neal. I'm the owner of Your Great Escape here in Tazewell. It's a restaurant and catering business, and I'll give you a little bit of background information about me. I graduated from Tazewell High School here in Tazewell in 1997, went on to Southwest Virginia Community College, and then graduated with an associate's degree in culinary arts in 2000 from Sullivan University in Louisville, Kentucky. I moved back to Tazewell after college graduation and began Your Great Escape in 2001 as a personal chef service. Now, everybody always asks me, what does Your Great Escape mean? So I'm going to give you a little bit of origin of the name. When I was trying to come up with a name for the personal chef service, I kept on thinking, well, it would be something that people would want to escape from their kitchen. And I said, well, I thought about the movie The Great Escape, and I said, well, it could be Your Great Escape. And then play on words, you could spell great G-R-A-T-E instead of G-R-E-A-T, so that's how it came to be. But anyway, after I started the personal chef service, people kept on calling me about catering. And they said, do you do catering? There's not really a caterer in the area. And I said, well, I can. I said, you know, as a personal chef, I would go into people's homes and do weeks worth of meals for them in one day. And I said, you know, I could cater an event for you. I would have to do everything at your house, in your home kitchen. Is it something you still want to do? And they said, yes. And then I would go and do that, and I would be exhausted after 15 hours working in a kitchen all day, preparing the food, putting out the food, washing the dishes, shopping for the food, everything that I had to do. And I said, I'm going to have a commercial kitchen. So I expanded my business in 2002, was able to do my personal finances and a small business loan, and I constructed a commercial kitchen, which is actually still where I am today. And then we opened up the restaurant part of the business in 2010. We offer lunch and dinner, and all the while continuing to operate a successful bustling catering business. Then I expanded the space. We're in a strip mall type building, so we just keep on knocking down walls and going over, and each building becomes available. So we expanded the space in 2013 into a 60-seat dinner area with a buffet, which that's where we are currently today too. But for customers who don't necessarily need full service or want full service catering, I want to expand into a year-round retail section, supplying or selling some popular catering menu items for take-home so people can enjoy at their leisure. We kind of started small. I've been doing this for a few years now. We do the pints of chicken salad, which that's what you all are tasting. And actually, there's some more back there on the table if y'all want chicken salad. And there's raspberry vinaigrette. That's our house-made raspberry vinaigrette that we do with our signature spinach and strawberry salad. Also do pints of pasta salad, and we do whole cakes and pies as well. But we're always thinking a little bit bigger. This is a picture of a friend of mine in Dallas that has a catering and food shop, and she does huge amounts of business there with everything from pimento cheese, chicken salad, whole desserts, full meals for people to take home. But selling food to customers by the pan instead of individually is great for a take and bake idea for anywhere from church dinners, holidays, family meals, births, funerals, hospital stays, or just because. Because people nowadays are so busy, they don't have time to cook or they don't want to cook, and so we can kind of fill that need for them. This is our third year of holiday retail business that we've done. Thanksgiving and Christmas is kind of our really busy time of the year with catering and for these retail sales. We do everything from the turkey and hams to gravy to all your sides, to all your desserts, appetizers, pretty much anything that you could want for Thanksgiving, we do that. Last year we did $2,500 plus in sales in 2 consecutive days, which was Wednesday and Thanksgiving Day in retail pickup sales, just pickup sales. And we expect to exceed this number this year. And we pretty much have had virtually the same customers year after year, and that continues to grow. But we believe that retail sales of our food can be a year-round moneymaker. You can offer all kinds of different specials every month of different foods, where if it's weight loss foods in January, Valentine's food in February, March and April, with St. Patrick's Day and Easter themes, because everybody loves deviled eggs, May, graduation items, cool treats in July, August, June, July, and August, comfort foods and back-to-school favorites in September and October, and of course holiday favorites in November and December. We plan on adding 1 and probably eventually up to 3 employees full-time for prepping and to help with sales and to keep a steady flow of food in our space. We're kind of a little slow behind keeping the retail space full of food right now because it's really just myself and 2 other employees currently, but we expect to add more employees pretty soon. Our main competition are grocery stores and like Sam's Clubs, but kind of the bad thing about those places are they use a lot of preservatives, additives, and undesirable ingredients. We try to do everything from scratch as much as possible and use fresh and local ingredients if we can. Their products are also mass-produced, where ours are done more on a small scale, and they use cheaper kind of filler ingredients for cheaper pricing. I've found a couple really good quotes that kind of drive home when people talk about how expensive some things can be sometimes when you're a small business owner. It says price is what you pay, but value is what you get, and cheap work or great work ain't cheap, but cheap work ain't great. And then what we would use the challenge money for would be additional freezer and refrigerator space. That's my current front of the store there. I've got a kind of an armoire that I store kind of catering supplies and stuff in. We move that out of the way to have extra space for food sales and move those tables out of the way also. So we need additional freezer refrigerator space. That looks to be around $3,000 for that. And then some specialty containers for the food. Product stickers and labels, and then marketing of retail items, which is virtually free via social media. We do a lot of Facebook and Instagram posts, and word of mouth too. Word of mouth is probably I think everybody agrees, so best advertising you can get. So, and then there, it's kind of our 2 advertising posters that we've been putting in all the bags and getting out to our catering clients as people come in, talking about escaping the kitchen, so it kind of works in with your Great Escape business name. So we can either do all of your food that day, or if you want to come and join us, and this is an open invitation to everybody here, if you want to come and join us, we'll be having a Thanksgiving Day buffet on Thanksgiving Day this year too, from 12 until 4. So, right.
One more round of the salad.
All right. I got an extra box back there.
I'm just saying, I was so busy eating, I forgot to listen.
Oh, I gotta do it all over again.
Are you, ladies,
Have you ever thought about meal prep?
I have actually. We talked about that a few weeks ago at one of the classes here, and I think we might have talked about that.
I know, I have to ask you again because you haven't started.
I know. Yeah, so with everything else, it's hard to start something new. But yeah, that would probably be something initially that
In January, people will buy it.
so Clint, give me an idea for your cost. Talk to me about like 3-person turkey meal. Give me the estimate of
We usually sell the turkeys and the turkey breasts whole, because we found that people would like leftovers the next day, and they don't want just enough for 3 people. So we'll sell like the whole turkey breast, which costs, I think, for a whole turkey breast that we do, almost turkey breast is around like $25 or so.
That's the meal, right?
Well, that's just a turkey breast.
Just the turkey.
So we sell that for I think like 64 this year. We went up on it just a little bit. So we try to do the old times 3 sales where you have like 30% of your food costs.
So do you have a snapshot that you can kind of paint the picture for us how your sales or your revenues have been in the last year? You said you've been in operations for a few years. So can you give, is it steady? Is it growing? Is it ebb and flow?
Yeah, it kind of ebbs and flows. It kind of depends on what else is kind of going around on the economy. But it's been it kind of had a little bit of a downturn during the first. Well, it's probably the middle part of the decade, I guess. But the last 2 years have been small. I would say probably double-digit increases. A little bit has gotten a little bit busier the last couple of years. So this is just another way that I kind of want to diversify my income. So when the catering gets slower or the restaurant gets a little bit slower, I have something to fall back on.
What are the typical catering customers? What do they look like?
We do a lot of corporate clients. So we do a lot of like community, Cumberland Mountain, Clinch Valley Community Action. Used to do a lot of pharmaceutical reps with doctor's offices, but that's kind of fallen off over the years. But it's mostly weekday corporate clients that we do, and then we do some weddings and showers and things like that on the weekends.
What do you want to put more energy in?
I'd like to put more energy in the retail area because I think that's as the population around here kind of gets older and they don't want to cook as much for themselves. I think that's something that would really kind of take off.
That's not just older people, that's middle-aged wives too. Middle-aged wives don't want to cook.
More questions?
Just FYI, I would say meal prep idea.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
That is something I would definitely.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh my God, listen, the salad, the salad. Oh my goodness, I'm a salad.
I never thought, all the years ago, that would be my that would be done.
Because I have some aunties that have salad. No, I always do it. The chicken salad, the chicken salad. No, I will make the salad. That's it. When people tell me, oh, easy, I get a wash on the greens, that's nice. It's recipe. gummies.
Greens and coffee.
You call it products, the rest of us call it tribes, but that's.
All right.
Never liked it because I was. I have never been a chicken salad girl.
Where's your card, man?
No, I know what that is.
Will you all just keep eating, because we have to set up.
You're 17, you're an agent. She's 17. Maybe I'm
That's what they say.
If you don't want your samples, just throw them away. Teachers need as much stress-free opportunities as you can.
So you use,
Parents alone makes
I'm not
you
really
stress.
educated on it.
You didn't even bring 36 points for us to judge, huh?
Dude, I made the call. I made the call. I didn't call the ABC guy.
Well, when I was there, you guys were all in.
Oh, okay.
Your hubby was a basketball player.
We left right when we were out. I had to make the hobby lobby.
That was a crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, we're working.
Okay, she's ready. We have a PowerPoint presentation where she does, and it's just gonna run in the background over and over, so you get bored. You may.
First of all, I'd like to thank the funders and the sponsors that set this Tazewell County Challenge and gave us the opportunity to compete for it. I'd like to thank them very much. I'd also like to thank the judges for being here this evening in this rainy weather. I'm glad you all got to come out and be with us. Is CBD a part of your life?
I honestly know very little about
Okay.
I've tried it a few times.
My name is Debbie Bowman, and I am President and CEO of Appalachian Hemp LLC, located in Richlands, Virginia. Appalachian hemp became a dream of a little girl approximately about 50 years ago. Didn't know it was going to be a hemp store, but I had always wanted a store. So I used to go to my aunt's, and when I went there, she'd let me wait on customers at her little country store, and I'd get to do that and run the cash register, and I love dealing with money. So, but anyway, I really enjoyed that, and when we thought about putting this in, my husband and I were in the apartment, small apartment. You all talking about these big ones, and I've probably got 400 square feet. But that's all I need for my products because they're small. But anyway, I have that, and we was going to put a studio apartment in for a college kid. Well, we already had the wall up and for separating the bedroom and the living room. And I looked at him and I said, "Can we tear that wall down?" He said, "We just put it up." I said, "Yeah, I know, but I want to put a store in." He said, "What kind of store?" I said, "A CBD store." I said, "I want to help people." He said, "Where'd you come up with that?" I said, "I've read and I've seen the testimonies of what it can do, it had been known to do for people." And I said, "I want to help people." I said, "I want to help them get, if they will allow it and they let me help them get off of the opioids." I said, "I want to be able to help with that. I want to help them with pain and stuff like that." So guess what? The wall came down. So there was a little bit of controversy about putting in a hemp store in Richlands. And after a while, I finally got an answer from the Commonwealth Attorney. I asked him about getting it put in, and due to the hemp plant and the marijuana plant being a lot of controversy about that, he finally told our chief of police that he thought it was okay. So he's held me up about 3 months, but we opened April the 1st. So I told him it wasn't no April Fools because I've been keep trying to get it open. So I told him it was no April Fools, we were going to do that. But we did open on faith. We had our local preacher to come over that morning, and we had prayer, and we asked him to he prayed that God would give us, through the store, blessings so that we can help others. And that's my main goal. And my first blessing was when a young man came in. I didn't even plan on saying this, but I've got to. He came in, he wouldn't even look at me. He had anxiety so bad. He kept looking down and he wouldn't look at me. And he said, "I need something for anxiety." So we just decided to try the gummies. About a week later, he come back. He didn't have a hat on. He looked me straight in the face and talked to me. And he said, "You would not believe the difference in me over a gummy." I mean, it was amazing. So that was my first blessing that I got. And if I have to close my doors today, I'm happy because I know of several that has come and went that are continue to come back and get the products because it does help. So, but I would, we did open on that, and we did open on faith also with me putting all my products on a credit card. I had to get a personal credit card and put all my products. Luckily, it was 0% for so many months, so I'm still on that one. So I hope that I can get paid off before that 0 goes off. So I'm hoping to be able to accomplish that. But you must be 18 in order to buy the CBD products. And if you are going to try those, we would ask that you consult with your doctor to make sure it wouldn't affect any of your other medications. Be sure to do that. So we'd like for them to do that. But CBD products are organic. They're not habit forming. You can't OD. And some of my products carry THC and some of them don't. The only thing is, the only part that I can have in the THC is 0.3 and below. So if anybody comes in there wanting to get high, they're going to have to go somewhere else. I don't have anything like that. All mine is mostly the CBD for the things that it can help, that it's been known to help with. So the products that Appalachian Hemp carries is the gummies. We have the gummies, and I have them in different sizes and different bottles and different watermelon and assorted. I had to do the 10 count and everything. It's really good for anxiety and depression, and it does also help with sleep. And then I have the oil, and I have it anywhere from 250 milligrams up to 6,000. Okay, what that means, it doesn't mean that it's that strong. It means that there's enough in those bottles that it makes up 250 milligrams or 6,000. So 250 milligrams, if I tell you to begin with 25 milligrams, if I ask you to start with that, the 250 milligrams would last you 10 days. The 6,000 would last you 8 months. So it depends on how you want to go. Now this was mostly the controversy about things right here. This is called flower. It looks like marijuana and it kind of smells like marijuana. The only thing is it cannot have anything over the 0.3 of the THC. So in my shop, I have the pens that you can transfer over. You can either use dry or vape with it. So the vape juice is, you can take off one of the connector things here, and one of them has the flower for the flower, and the other one has it for the vape juice. Now the vape juice, a lot of people use it. It is nothing like what you have here that you're hearing about. It's nothing like that. So I would like to, whether you purchase it from me or anything, don't buy it from gas stations, or they say don't buy it from Amazon. And I'd like to thank all of you again for this awesome opportunity, and I would like to tell you that if I were to get the money, that I would either add more inventory, I would get more products, different products, or I would also be able to, I still got some time? Is that it? Okay, thank you so much. Any questions?
Good.
How are you doing enrichments, like current sales? Do you have like a steady flow of customers?
I have repeat customers. Yes, I do. Once they run out, like say the oil, that's the 250, and they're still taking it at 25 milligrams a day, and they come back to get it, then, right before they run out, they do come back and get the product that they're using.
Have you gotten a lot of backlash?
I haven't, to believe it or not. The only backlash I had was trying to get opened because they just didn't know whether it was going to go. And like I say, I called so many different places, and then I thought, well, Commonwealth Attorney will let me know. I couldn't tell you how many times I called up there trying to get an answer. So I just went ahead and ordered my products. I told my husband, I said, I will go ahead and order all my products and do that. And I said, hopefully, it'll be a go, and we'll go ahead and fix the little apartment until it's fixed for a store. So, and that's what we did. So the chief of police, I spoke with him, and he said, what everybody else is doing, it, go for it.
So Debbie, this is another one of those cool products that I think is been trendy in the past, and we missed the boat. And because I've been tracking for a couple of years, I have an uncle who's a chronic back pain problem. He started using CBD oil, pretty high percentage. He gets imported or over from Colorado, sold on it. The Asheville market's saturated. It's now kind of like you said, moving into the convenience stores. What are you going to do to make this product approachable here? And how will you keep up with some of the quick moving trends, since it's kind of passe now a little bit in bigger markets? So we're a smaller market, but how are you going to compete with stuff that's already kind of successful?
In this area, there's nothing really, no one else around that actually sells just CBD. They have, like Melissa, she has some CBD, but she also has all this other stuff. And basically, my store is just CBD. I try to keep anything that the customer is interested in, and if I don't have it, then I find out what company they get it from, and I call the company to see if I can buy that. And some of them wanted me to buy a franchise at $50,000, and in order to carry one product for some customers that was wanting it. But I got on a good relationship with the girl, and her and I worked it out, and I have that product without paying $50,000. So I just try to, and the first girl that, well, not the first girl I'll talk with, but the one that I get most of my products from, her and I both were talking about what we really want to do with this, and I said I want to help people live a happy, healthier, more active life.
So
That's my goal.
how do you market that though? What are your thoughts on that? I didn't hear you talk much about marketing.
Okay, marketing right now, I'm just on Facebook. I'm trying to, they are in the process of, I was getting a website, but something, it fell through with the person that was going to do it, and they're doing it now,
I gotta get up there to do that.
okay?
So have you thought about bringing education and awareness into your model? I think, people don't understand what CBD oil is. They do associate it with marijuana, THC, et cetera.
Right.
But it's a whole separate kind of product. So have you thought about awareness training, besides just word of mouth and technology, doing workshops, seminars? Do you feel like you have the competence and the knowledge of the product to do something like that?
If I don't have all of it, I can try to learn it.
Because you're passionate about helping
Yeah.
people
That's
become
my goal.
pain-free. And I think
Yeah.
that there's some proven stuff, I think, that says
Yes.
it helps.
Yes, it does, it really does. But, yeah, I would be willing if I, because I've always wanted to learn. I mean, even, with anything, there's always more to learn and be able to pass it on. But yeah, I would love to be able to, educate people on what it can do and how it works and everything, and that, instead of taking the, prescription drugs and messing your body all up.
Partners, you need to think about partners, and I think when y'all get on the road, do some road shows for some.
Your road show for us.
And, spread the love.
But
I don't know much about CBD oil, but I own the smoothie bar, and I've had several people approach me about me putting it in my smoothies. Like, oh, I can tell you CBD, put it in your smoothies. It's not my thing. I don't know, because I don't know much about it. I'm ignorant in that realm. But I do feel like if you were to bring on, even like if you wanted to host it at your store,
Right,
like educational seminars, 30 minutes of your time, come and learn what CBD oil is. Because I know they're building a plant somewhere near, if not, I want to say somewhere in Virginia. They're building this new CBD. They've got the land for it and stuff like that. So I think it's going to slowly take over this area. It's slowly moving here, but I think it's going to be something big for this area.
Tobacco, the hemp plant in Christiansburg, 85, 85. Yeah, so it's real big across the street there. And I'm in touch with a guy too that's wanting to produce it and do that in Abingdon. And his name is Appalachian Hemp Company. I didn't know it's something, but mine's Appalachian Hemp LLC. No, Wingard, Wingard, and he was talking about the Bristol thing down there, where they're wanting to try to do something with that down there too. But he's already got stuff that he's got them to produce for him. He's just waiting on his labeling.
Yeah, because I also know there's going to be one open, I think, store in Princeton.
In their area, it's just a small rural area, and honestly, there's really up for competition. There's the gas stations, and a lot of people are going there, and then they find out it doesn't work for them, so they, well, I tried this, and I said, try this one, it comes from a company that's all they do.
Is your product, it does not have your label on it, is you're buying
No,
product from
I'm
someone
buying
else?
it from Canada Life. I purchased it, most of all my products come from Canada Life.
So once I buy this product from you and I see that the manufacturer is Cannabidiol Life, and I go on and I search their website, there's probably going to be a lot of vendors out there that'll ship online. Are you going to be able to do that down the road, you think, and just to build that relationship? Because this is a relationship product. You're not going to sell it. Once they buy it, they're going to get it somewhere else and they can find it cheaper. It's just our mindset. So what will you think?
You don't think don't want to repackage it? Try to buy it at a wholesale.
They can't cheap
I know that I can buy.
I can find someone to make something with packaging.
I think you can do that, and I have seen companies that you buy bulk and everything that can do that, but I've never really even thought about that.
Because if you do that, then you can wholesale to other stores in the area that want to sell the product. Instead of them buying it from wherever they get it from, then they can get it from you, and that's another rim of income that you can be making.
Many partners you can get, I think that's the key.
Yeah, but if you repackage it with your labeling, then you can sell to the pharmacies that want to carry it, anything like that, and it's your labeling, so then
Exactly.
it's in the hands of someone else, and they always have your name on it, so that when they want to research, it comes back to you.
That's awesome.
It's also your life.
Yeah. Right now, I'm under the liability of the company that I filed, because I've done check with that. And so I've got her to send me a copy of her insurance that it covers me.
Okay.
But that's, we all talking about all those, so that's where that $5,000 would come in good at. To get me going with that. Yeah.
So 3 years down the road, you know, you've sold to everybody in the area, what's your next step?
I would like to put more products in.
We're just waiting for pot to become legal.
Upgrade to THC.
And you know what? See a little apartment that I have? There's a big apartment right beside of it that all I have to do is knock a door out. And that's my goal. You want one of my cards now?
Wrong neighborhood.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Thank y'all so much.
You want to do it now? Hey guys, Blake, you can't leave yet.
I'm not.
Okay. First of all, Sandy wanted me to remind everybody to get your business plan to me, 3 copies by next Tuesday before 5 o'clock. Is everybody pretty well finished with theirs? I don't see.
I sent you one that's not the final draft.
Okay.
That was an accident. It's attached to the packet.
All right. Was that it? Is that all you wanted me to remind them
Unless
of?
anybody's got questions.
As far as the announcement as who wins, I will be talking to the Tazewell County IDA, which is the Industrial Development Authority. They are the ones partnering with the towns to help sponsor this event. So we have a meeting next week. I will talk to them to see when they want to have that announcement. We're trying to do it when another meeting is held, so we can invite all of the town managers because they all participated as well. So we will let you know as soon as we get something ironed out on that. So I know everybody's going to be excited, wanting to know. I will too. Like I said, I won't find out till you all do. So I'm so proud of all of you, and I've become attached to you. So I want to see you do very well as I do all of our businesses. But I think y'all did great. So you did great tonight.
That's great. Obviously,
And we have such a diverse group of different businesses. I mean, we went from Get Well to serving beer and nachos, beer and wings, whatever. But
Blake and I may not be partners in the same building.
She might use the conference room for a consultation.
There you go.
yeah,
There you go.
y'all might not be doing a road show together. But anyway,
Use it
y'all
to fix it.
have been fantastic. Thanks for hanging in there with us. I know it was a learning experience for me too. Sandy's the pro over there at it. We're going to do another one next year. So if you know of anybody that wants to take on another challenge, ready to just pass the word. I don't know when we'll do it yet. We don't have a schedule, but we will plan another one. But Sandy wants to do a group picture of all you guys, so if you will come up front.
And your judges, thank you for your time.
And the judges, yes, thank you very much.